Welcome back, YouTubers. Uncle Dave from DEECEE's Adventures, and we're here at the review rug again, and we've got some special blades on it today. These are some custom knives made by custom bladesmith Jeff White. If you don't know who Jeff White is, he is a gentleman out of Indiana that makes custom hand-forged blades, and he also makes knives for the Pathfinder store. And the steel that he ends up with after he's done with his process is a lot like a Swedish steel that you would get an axe made out of. So I really like it. You can get them really, really sharp. And they're also all kind of period-oriented knives. I think they're supposed to be like 16th, 17th century period-oriented knives. And they're really sweet. One of the things I really like about them is this grind that he puts on it is like a Scandi convex type grind, and it sweeps up from the blade all the way up, and it comes pretty close to razor sharp. And as long as you maintain it with some whetstones and a strop, you can keep these things shaving sharp, which is really nice. I really like that. And I mean, like, shaving sharp. Like, no pressure. No pressure. See? That's what I'm talking about. All my Jeff White knives are the sharpest knives that I own. So, he's a knife smith. He doesn't provide sheaths with any of his knives. This is a sheath that you can get from a guy named Robert Jones. He's also in Indiana. They must be buddies. He makes sheaths for all of Jeff White's knives. You can buy separately. You can find him on eBay or on Amazon. Back to the knives, though. Jeff White forges all these knives, and they all have different names. He has a couple custom knives or production knives that he makes for the Pathfinder stores, like I said before. But most of his other knives, I think, are knives that he just, like, he's pounding out some steel, and this is what he comes up with for a knife, and then he puts a handle on it, and then he sells them. And you can buy them on auction on eBay, or you can buy them on Amazon. There's a bunch of places you can buy them. He makes a lot of different sizes, and this is more like a kitchen knife, and it has a 7-inch blade on it, cutting edge, and the overall length is like, I think, almost 12 inches, and is razor sharp. It's an 1/8 inch thick, and it has some pretty aggressive chimping here and a 90-degree angle on the back. All of his knives have a really sharp 90-degree angle, and his knives, this is more like a kitchen knife to me than it is really a survival knife, and that's basically what I use it for, is a kitchen knife. And it stays so razor sharp, it just works like a Japanese kitchen knife. It's the best kitchen knife I've ever had, actually. So I really like that. I can keep it really sharp. This has micarta handles. That one has like a cherry wood that I've covered up with some grips. He uses cherry, walnut, white oak, and this is the first knife I had actually seen for sale that had micarta handles from him. So I ordered one of those because I love the durability of micarta. And this knife is awesome. This knife is about it's supposed to be a 4-inch blade, but I think it's like 4.5 inches. But I guess maybe if you take that off, yeah, I guess it's maybe is only 4 inches, with about a 4.5 inch handle. And this is such a great knife. It has just a straight back on it. There's no chimping of any kind. 90-degree, really sharp 90-degree angle on all of his spines. And this knife is such a great little bushcrafter. I've had it for a couple weeks now, and it's becoming one of my favorite knives just because of how razor sharp it is. Like, you can shave with that. Like, you can shave wherever you want with that, and it actually pops hairs like a razor blade would. It's so crazy. And you can use it for carving wood and then run a strop over it, and it's that sharp again. The only steel I've had that sharpens up like that is my Grand Forth Brooks axe. That's the only steel I've ever had. So something to consider about this is a steel that's going to sharpen up this sharp and work that well for you is going to be brittle. It's so hard. Like, its rock wall hardness has got to be around 60. And it's so hard that if you beat on these knives and use them improperly, you're going to get a lot of chipping in the blade. So you got to think about that. If you're one of those hard use guys, you definitely don't want this blade to be your hard use. This is a skinning blade and a carving blade and that kind of a blade. You don't use this for like processing wood and trees and stuff. I mean, you can use this one for that, but I don't know, again, when you have a blade that's this hard, there's a good chance you're gonna chip the edge of it if you're misusing it like that. So I like using these knives for like processing animal or for doing really fine carving and anything you need a really sharp blade with. I actually use this blade a lot for cutting leather when I'm doing leather stuff and making leather things. It's good for anything you need a really sharp blade for. And that's basically what I think Jeff White's blades are great for. Anytime you need a period oriented blade that will just keep a razor sharp edge, Jeff White is a good guy to check out here. That's what his logo looks like there. I don't know if we can see it there. Yeah. And man, that edge is just so sharp. It's insane. So, if you don't have one yet, I recommend going out and checking him out. Jeff White. Try to find some of his blades. They're all over the place. He sometimes has them for auction. Sometimes you can get them for auction on eBay for a really good price. But there's another blacksmith that was one of his apprentice that's 2B is his name. And he sells a lot of knives that are just like him, but they're not actually his knives. So I'm sure they're just as good as his knives. He was an apprentice to Jeff White. So check out all those as well. And I'm going to continue working with this knife for a little while here. See what I think about it. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. So as always, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.